Hey guys, it's David, and today I want to discuss on how to build a $12,000 a month e-commerce brand in 45 days. And that's $12,000 a month in profit. So to begin, I think it's easier for me to just explain what that actually looks like. So a $12,000 a month e-commerce brand that's bringing you $12,000 a month in profit, realistically, it's making a lot more revenue than $12,000 a month. That's because you still have to pay for the products, you still have to pay for shipping, you still have to, potentially look at, will there be a return? I mean, returns aren't common, but still, if they happen 1% of the time, you still want to account for that. You still want to account for payment processor fees and your advertising and marketing budget. So realistically, to make $12,000 a month net in profit that you can actually take home and spend, you have to be doing revenues of about $25,000, $30,000 a month. And you can do it with doing less revenue than that. You can do it doing more revenue than that. It's really up to you and what your risk tolerance is. I know some people that run very lean e-commerce brands, and I know some people that run very not lean e-commerce brands where their margins are insanely high. And so it's really up to your personal preference and how big you want to get. But today I want to actually give you actionable steps on how to build a $12,000 a month profit e-commerce brand. Because growing up, I want to talk about my first e-commerce brand. Because growing up, I always saw on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, well, TikTok when it came out not that long ago, but I always saw these people driving supercars, driving exotic cars, showing off screenshots, Shopify screenshots of all their sales that they made that month or that day. And they would flex it, and they'd be like, ha ha ha, whatever it is. And it would be some 16-year-old kid, 18-year-old kid. And they would be living in places like these that I'm at now. I'll come out with a video soon about how much I'm making and actually breaking it down so you can understand it clearly. But I'm making a lot of money and I'm living extremely well. Basically even better than how I saw those guys living when I was growing up. And so really I want to talk about what's made that possible, because a year ago, I really didn't know what I was doing. I was pretty much broke, and I started making videos on this channel just documenting the journey, thinking, hey, if this actually works out, this would be super nice to have and super beneficial and helpful for other people that are trying to do the same thing. And now that it has worked out, those videos are super beneficial and helpful for those that are trying to do the same thing. So in this video, I want to discuss really what has unlocked in my mind. What really flipped the script? What was that key moment that kind of opened my mind and made me realize something? And I'm going to explain it to you within the next 5 minutes, so pay attention. And really that key thing here is acquiring a customer for a new business is oftentimes the most expensive part of their business. The advertising, the marketing. So, and that's like a well-known fact. You can look it up. For new companies, if you ever watch Shark Tank, they're oftentimes, pretty much always interested, what does it cost you to acquire a new customer? How much does it cost you to get someone to buy something from you that has never heard of you before? And that's a very important number, because really that number determines how many customers you can get and whether you can get them at a profit. And I know it sounds so simple. It sounds so simple and it sounds so stupid, but I'm gonna explain to you why this concept is so important. Because I didn't understand this concept a year ago. I didn't understand this concept 10 months ago, but now I do. And because I understand this concept, I'm doing really well. So, the reason you want to understand this is because in business, the most important thing you can do is acquire new customers at a profit. And that is a lot easier said than done. But in today's video, I'm going to explain to you the easiest way to do it, basically. So think about it like this. You are trying to sell a $25 book. You're trying to sell a $25 book. It can be about whatever. But now you go to advertise on any platform. My preferred platform is Google. But let's say you go to advertise on Facebook or TikTok. You are competing in an auction. These advertising platforms are auction-based, meaning whoever is willing to pay the most for their ad to be shown to the viewers, the scrollers, the watchers, whoever clicked on the link, whoever is willing to pay the most for that attention, for those eyeballs, they will get shown. They will get their ad budget spent, and their products will be bought. And if you're not willing to pay and compete with those people, well, then your stuff won't get bought. And I know that sounds super scary, but there's really an easy way and an easy trick to get around this. And it's to just sell expensive stuff. So let me explain to you what I mean by this. Steve Arsano, if you've been on TikTok, if you've been on Facebook, you've probably seen him. If not, maybe I'll put a picture of him up here. But if you haven't seen him, it's not entirely too important. All you need to know for the purposes of this video is he's a private jet salesperson. He sells private jets. Now, he is a millionaire. He does not own a private jet. He sells private jet. You do not need to be able to buy or own whatever it is that you sell. For example, I know many broke realtors. Well, not many. I know a couple. I don't have many broke friends. I know broke realtors. I know broke realtors that sell houses, like not even nice houses, just decent houses that they can't even afford, but they still sell them. Okay? Why is this so important? Let me ask you a question. Who do you know on the internet or in real life that got rich selling $5 coffee mugs or $10 t-shirts? If you looked on the entire internet, you would have to squint extremely hard to find one person that got rich selling $5 books or $5 t-shirts or $5 coffee cups. Those people do not exist, because in order to make $100,000 a month selling $5 coffee mugs, do you know how many you would have to sell? You would have to sell 20,000. No, that would be 100,000 in revenue. To make 100,000 profit, you'd have to sell close to like 50,000 coffee mugs. That is insane. Do you know how hard it is to sell something to 50,000 people? That is insane. So what's your other option? Well, really, I've been able to become successful, and my mind has been unlocked once I made this one realization. You don't sell cheap stuff to broke people. You sell expensive stuff to rich people. Even if you can't afford it, you can sell it to them. That's what the internet has allowed us to do, and it's a beautiful thing. And honestly, the fact that so many people haven't caught on to this, and really it's in this infancy stage, is amazing. Because I can go online and buy a couch. Let's say, for example, this couch right here. It's a beautiful couch. I can probably find a couch very similar to this from a supplier overseas for about $1,000, maybe $2,000. And I can go ahead and create a store and sell this couch as a high-end luxury couch for $8,000, $9,000, $10,000. I can go ahead, make some Google ads with keywords. For example, if someone types in high-end couch, luxurious couch for sale, my listing would pop up and they would see my website and my couch. And the people that are looking up high-end couch for sale, guess what? They want to buy a high-end couch for sale. So if my couch is $8,000, $9,000, and to them that's a high-end couch and they like the design of it, guess what? They're gonna buy it. And even if you're broke right now and you're saying, who on earth would spend $8,000, $9,000 on a couch? Believe me, there's a lot of people in this world. And in America, in the US, people spend money like crazy. It is the nation of consumerism. It is the country of debt. I mean, look at our national debt. That's a lot. But we as a people, individuals, a lot of people like getting into debt, whether that's credit card, whether that's financing, and that's just a part of the culture, and that's fine. I love Americans. I love the US consumer culture. I love the debt culture because it allows me to make a lot of money. And I love it. That's awesome. But going back to my point, you have to start selling expensive items, super expensive items, at least over $3,000 US. Now, why $3,000 US? Well, it's quite simple. That's the ballpark price where you're already expensive than a lot of the other people advertising on there. And so you can afford to spend money to earn a customer and get a customer. For example, instead of if someone looks up high-end couch for sale and someone has a $2,000 couch for sale and you have a $9,000 couch for sale, you can spend more money on advertising to get that customer. That customer won't even know about that $2,000 couch because you dominated the search listings and you showed up first. And the only thing they saw was your $9,000 couch. I hope this is making sense. I hope you're following along because I know it sounds super simple and I'm breaking it down to sound super simple so you can understand it. But really, once I understood this, I had a massive shift and massive jump forward in my brand. So what are some key takeaways that you can take from this and actually excel in life and build an e-commerce brand that gives you profit every single month? Well, it's quite simple. First, you have to take it seriously. Second, you have to sell very expensive items, whether that's furniture, whether that's another thing a lot of people get wrong. They always ask me, Dave, what items can I sell? What items can I sell? The truth is, expensive items are around you every single place that you go, everywhere. And just because you might not notice it, just because you think you can't sell it, doesn't mean there's not people for it. For example, let's actually go around and I'll give you a bunch of ideas for items you can sell. Let's actually do it because I'm sick of people saying, I don't know what to sell. Okay, I already gave you one, a couch. Second, a high-end painting. Third, a high-end coffee table. People would be willing to spend $5,000 on a table like this. For chairs, maybe if they're designer chairs, maybe if you have a set for a couch, but for something like this alone, I really don't see anyone spending $3,000, so that wouldn't be a good item. This, let's see. Let's just walk around here. You have stuff like this where it's antique and unique. You can make a very niche store selling something like this, and rich people would be into it because they like having this type of shit in their house. Even though you can probably get this for about, $50 online from a supplier. It's just concrete. It's nothing special. But if you put it together as a kit, well, now all of a sudden, you have a $5,000, $10,000 kit that you can sell to make a place look cool. Coffee machines are a good one. Honestly, this coffee machine, I don't even know how much it costs, but I have a friend that bought like a $10,000 coffee machine, and I actually tried his coffee, and it tastes good. Don't get me wrong, it tastes good, but you can't really tell a difference. So whether that coffee machine costs $1,000 or $10,000, I have no idea. Coffee tastes the same to me. Speaking of which, I gotta make some. Okay, whatever, I'll do it after this video. Okay, let's keep looking because I want to get your mind flowing. It's everywhere. Chandeliers. Chandeliers are another good one, especially the sparkly ones that have a spiral. Those are a really good idea. Benches. This bench alone, this is solid. That is solid wood. You can find something like that on the internet that you can source from a supplier for probably $500. I mean, think about it. It's just a piece of wood. That's all it is. It's just, you can literally see the tree. It's just wood. And you can make a store and advertise it and sell it for $5,000, $4,000, $6,000. I don't know why many people aren't doing this. I think the truth is a lot of people are doing this, but they're just not talking about it because the opportunity is so big. Because everyone I see on social media, they're talking about selling cheap stuff. When in reality, that's not where the money is. The money is in selling expensive items. Because think about it. Actually, I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. I wanted to give you guys examples of things you can sell, but I got sidetracked because I still have a very important point to make. Do you think it's easier to find 50,000 customers to sell those coffee mugs? Or do you think it's easier to find 10 customers that are willing to buy a $9,000 couch like this one? It is insanely more easier to find 9 customers that are willing to pay $9,000 for a couch like this. That's just a fact. From my experience, literally just Google it. Is it easier to find 9? Ask ChatGPT for all you care, because I'm telling you, it's true. It is way more easier to find 9 people that are willing to spend $9,000 on a couch than it is to find 50,000 people that are willing to spend $10 on a coffee mug or $20 on a coffee mug, whatever. And so think about it. You find 3 people to buy a $9,000 couch, just 3 people a month. That's, one every 8 days, 10 days, one every 10 days. You find 3 people to buy a couch like this per month, and you're at $12,000 a month in profit. And revenue, that would be closer to 9 times 3 is 18, 19, 20, 27. $27,000 a month in revenue. It's really that simple. Now, one thing I see a lot of people struggle with is the marketing aspect of it. And it's funny because marketing is the easiest part of this entire equation. And yet it's the part where I see almost everyone struggle with, and it seems like everyone doesn't know what to do. And it's simple. Instead of running Facebook ads, instead of doing UGC, it seems like everyone on YouTube is talking about these video ads and TikTok ads, and they're just following the new trend, the new hype. When in reality, you should go to where people look up to buy stuff. Where do people go to buy stuff when they're looking up for something like a couch? Because believe me, it's actually not Amazon, it's not TikTok, it's not Facebook, it's none of that. It's not even Pinterest. They might go on Pinterest for ideas, but the first place they go to is Google, and they type in high-end couch for sale, expensive couch for sale, white couch for sale, designer couch for sale, couch for sale. That's what they're typing in. And you can actually pay Google to show up, to have your website, to have your picture show up right at the top, so they instantly see it. And guess what? If they like how your couch looks, they will buy it from you. And when they buy it from you, you will make money. Google is the biggest search engine on the planet, in every developed country. Okay, maybe in China they have like Yandex and stuff, but I don't sell to the Chinese. I sell to Americans. And I'm telling you, Google is a really good search engine for doing that, because people are looking it up and using it for everything they do. Plus, with the amount of data that Google has, they are tracking everyone. They know whether someone wants to buy this couch before that person knows if they want to buy the couch. If you've ever been scrolling on TikTok and you get like a video about something you were just talking about, you know that these phones, these social medias, these search engines, they track every single thing it is that you do and talk about. They're constantly listening to you. You can call me Alex Jones. You can say, Dave, you're crazy, but it's true. I've seen experience and I've actually used it to my benefit to make money. And so that's why I'm telling you right now, these platforms are listening to you. And they know whether someone wants to buy a couch before that person wants to buy a couch. That is how powerful Google is. And if you think I'm crazy, I mean, just leave your phone alone like this for one day. Just leave it out there. And close to it, have conversations about stuff that you usually don't talk about. For example, I usually don't talk about Toyotas. I usually don't talk about underground lighting. That was so random, but I don't usually talk about that stuff. If I spend a day walking around this phone and talking about this stuff near this phone, as soon as I open it, the first advertisements, the first content that I'm gonna see on Instagram, on TikTok, it's gonna be about that sort of stuff. I've even had where I'm on a phone call talking about something. This is why I get so skeptic, and my laptop doesn't even have a camera on it because of this. Because I've gotten into marketing recently and I've gotten into advertising and I've learned this stuff. And that's why I know how powerful these things are. These are super powerful. And so I was on the phone one time and we were talking. I forget what exactly we were talking about. I won't be able to remember. But I was talking with my brother about something. And we were talking for, 10, 20 minutes. Typical conversation. But during it, we brought up, oh man. What did we bring up? I think we were planning a boat trip. I think we said something about a yacht. We were like, hey, let's take the family out on a boat trip, a yacht. And we said the word boat trip and yacht. And I swear, right after I hang up, right after that we finish that phone call and I go on TikTok, the first thing I get hit with is a TikTok about yachts, luxury yachts. The second thing I get hit with is an ad for a yacht chartering service, basically a yacht rental, in my area. That is how crazy this thing is. And before then, I really wasn't into boats. I don't really care for boats. I mean, being on a yacht is nice. I like being on the water for a day, maybe two, but anything more than that is just excessive. I don't think I would want to buy a boat. I've heard it's been such a hassle from people. They say the worst day in a boat owner's life is when they buy the boat. The best day in the boat owner's life is when they sell the boat. That's kind of the vibe I've gotten from boats so far. But anyways, guys, I really hope this video opened up your mind and really allowed you to see what's working right now on the internet when you're selling products, expensive products. Because really, that's the only way I've seen people, well, no, I don't want to say that because that's not true. I've seen people succeed selling low ticket $50, $100 items, but they don't succeed that much unless you become something like a Nike. But think about it. Is there really space for another Nike in this world? There's Nike, there's Under Armour, there's Lululemon. I actually really like Lululemon. I always wear their shirts. But are you gonna get that big? I mean, probably not. If I had to guess, you just wanna make $10, $12, $20, $50,000 a month profit. And the easiest way to do that is to sell expensive items. Because in order to make a bunch of money profit like that, you have to sell a lot. You have to find a lot of new customers. When instead you could just find 3 people to sell a big item and make that easily. So anyways, guys, it's David Bosovitz. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got some value out of it. Really, what I'm trying to instill in your mind is sell to rich people. Solve rich people problems and you will get compensated for it. Anyways, guys, if you have any questions, if you want help, if you want any advice, feel free to DM me on Instagram. I'm active there. You can also leave a comment here. But anyways, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye.